Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking for Friday the 8th of February. I am so sorry I've been offline the last couple of days. It sort of got a bit hectic with having new babies and children, and then yesterday I came home and I just absolutely crashed. 3 kids for 3 days. Wore me out. So I had a wonderful time. I loved spending time with them. Welcomed in new baby Oscar, who's home now, and my daughter, who's amazing. So all beautiful, all beautiful. So thank you for some of you who asked how I was and said that you hoped that everything was fine. A lot of people picked up on my Facebook page and just sort of checked in with me, which was really beautiful. Makes me realise what a beautiful family I have. And I'm about to do your What's Cracking reading for Friday the 8th. I'll do a bonus read this morning. The bonus read I will do will be for Capricorn, because you got the highest number of views on the last weekly one. My intention is to do some Valentine's Day readings for the signs. I might bunch them or group those though, and then I'll get the weeklies up for you over the weekend. So there's the plan. I'm using the Pagan Tarot today. Back to the old Pagan Tarot. Okay, what do we have here? We're upside down, inside out. We have the card of the Lovers coming straight out here. Now, on the Pagan Tarot, it shows the choice of 2 paths, which was the original meaning of the Lovers card, moving down one direction or another. It was sort of seen as the choice of 2 people, 2 paths to go, but definitely a card of, you know, having 2 choices. So this has come out for you first this morning. Behind that we have the 9 of Wands, which talks of course of putting around boundaries, and behind that the 2 of Swords. So some of you have a decision coming out here in regards to love, without a doubt. It talks about putting your boundaries up as well. So maybe someone has come into your life, or you have someone in your life that you're trying to make a decision about whether to move forward with them or not. And the universe is saying make sure that you're keeping your boundaries so you understand whether that decision has to be made for or against. But that's basically that little mini read there. Okay, so we have here the Tower coming straight out. So seen the Tower on and off quite a lot lately, and I feel, you know, it's such an important card for us, because it talks about us breaking down old structures and rebuilding ourselves again, which is part of what we do in life. But sometimes the Tower is has a little bit more impact than what we would like. You know, sometimes this sort of knocks us over a little bit before we're able to rebuild. The thing is, it's still a very positive card in that it sort of opens our eyes, opens our world, and helps us to see forward a lot better, knowing what we don't need anymore in our lives. So we can disengage from that does no longer serves us. For some of you, this is about a relationship, and quite possibly a third-party relationship, as you see in the card, someone walking away from 2 people who are now together. So it can be that sort of, you know, that sort of energy where now you have to rebuild your life because things have changed. But as much as it's tough to see someone with someone else, is it not the best thing that you didn't carry on with that person and waste your life? I know it's tough, but if you've lost someone, you didn't have them anyway. That's the way I see it. Okay, so we do have then the 5 of Cups coming in. So this might be bringing in a feeling of sadness, looking back. It's never what you've done wrong. People always seem to blame themselves and say, you know, if I'd have done things differently, you know, this person wouldn't have gone, or this person wouldn't have gone to someone else, whatever. That's their choice. They're adults. They can make the choice to be with you or to be with someone else. We don't have the choice over them. You can't make someone be with you. So this is about looking back at the past and seeing what you had, rather than looking forward and seeing, you know, what blessings you have coming into your life moving forward. Okay, and then we have the Justice card here. Now the Justice card, of course, is the card of balance. It is the card of Libra. It's also the card of karmic justice, and this can be legal justice or karmic justice. But this card here sort of talks about, as I always say, leveling out the playing field. It's like you've put in and now you're going to get back what you deserve. And I don't always, that's not in a horrible way. It's sort of like, you know, what you've invested into something should come back to you, but very often it doesn't. And then karma has a way of sort of working its magic to be able to give you back what you've lost. Now, that doesn't really mean that it's a vengeance thing. It doesn't mean it's going to be a horrible thing. It may not even come back in the same form you left it in. So it's not like if I give a person a hard time, they'll come back and be nice to me. It doesn't work that way. It's just a way of you getting back what you deserve. So maybe you've had terrible relationships in the past. Maybe things have never always been good. And then karma will bring you in a good relationship that you can really feel very comfortable and happy in. That's how karma works. It's not a horrible thing, you know. People say, oh, they'll get their karma, and sure, they're expecting them to get run over by a bus or something. It doesn't happen that way. Okay, and then we have the Five of Swords here. Now, the Five of Swords talks of, you know, having conflict and winning at the loss of someone else. In this particular card, there are two people back to back. So it's like there's a no-win situation here. Like one of them has two swords, the other one only has one. So there's no unequalness of power. Both people have the same power. They've both turned their backs on each other. So it's like competition. You know, you've had competition with someone, but nobody's won here. Nobody's won. Okay, so then we have the Queen of Wands here. Now, the Queen of Wands is a card of that can represent the fire signs. So Leo, Sagittarius or Aries. You could be dealing with a fire sign here. This particular card, though, is about feeling very sort of attractive, passionate, driven, feeling like a leader in your field, that type of thing. So this is the energy you could be taking on at the moment, or you could be dealing with a Leo here. Oh, I don't know why I said Leo. Interesting. There you go, take that one with you. And then we here have the Page of Cups. So to me, this looks like you're going to get some sort of offer from a fire sign, or you're proposing an offer to a fire sign. I'll do a good recap in a moment because it's already unfolding here. So, and then we have the Queen of Swords here. So this is a very different queen. She's the one that represents the air signs. So we're talking Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But the Queen of Swords energy is one of, you know, she really knows how to be assertive. She knows how to assert herself. She knows how to speak truth. Sometimes she can come up as quite cutting. She doesn't really mean to be, but she can be quite cutting in some things that she said because she wants to be direct and she doesn't want you to go thinking that she means anything else. So she tries to be very direct with her words, and sometimes that can be a little cutting, but it's just her way of doing it. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Wands. So there's a brand new start here, a brand new start of passion, something that you've really wanted. I see the energy behind this as being desire and welcoming. It's like this energy of welcoming in something new. So you've really craved this brand new start here. Okay, and then we have the Three of Wands. So you've been standing waiting for this to come into you. You have expected it. You have wanted it. You've been waiting for it, and it just hasn't come yet. So I feel like it's almost like you can taste it now. You know, it's so close to what you have been thinking and feeling. Okay, and the Ten of Pentacles has come out here as your topper card. So the Ten of Pentacles talks of having everything that you need, both materially and in the non-material world. It's a card of feeling very abundant, especially abundant. So beautiful top card there. Okay, so let's just have a quick look here. So we have the card of the Lovers and a choice being made after putting boundaries in place. So it's sort of like you could have been offered something here that wasn't quite what you wanted, and you've had to stand your ground and say, no, that's not quite right. This is actually what I was seeing, and this is what I was, you know, having a vision about the future and how it would look. And the other person may have said, well, that's not what I want. So this is about putting your boundaries up and saying, well, you know what, if you don't want the same as me, I'm not interested. I'm not moving forward with you. And I feel like because of that, there's some sort of collapse here in the way people are thinking. Now, when I read this like that and I see the Lovers and the Choice card here, I feel like the Tower affects both of you here. It's not just one person. It's almost like there is a lesson for both of you to learn here, but I'll get to that. The Five of Cups talks about, you know, looking back at the past with regret and being sad and unhappy. And I would say to you that, you know, perhaps you wanted something from this, but it's not coming in the shape that you wanted it in. So you're willing to let it go, knowing that there's love in front of you here. So you have this absolute knowing that the universe has something better and you need to let go of what isn't what you want. So if it's not serving you, you're not taking half measures anymore. You're standing in your truth. You're being absolutely upfront with someone and saying, that doesn't suit me. I'm happy to wait until the right thing comes along, basically. Because karma's here. So when I look at this Five of Swords, I think there's a standoff here between the two of you where you're not on the same page. You're both looking in completely different directions here. And one of you is looking back towards this karma, and it's like, you know that this will be worked out. This is why you're happily choosing to look forward, not backwards. I think the other person does as well. I think that this is a lesson that you're both learning and you both know you're learning it. So I have to say that. I think it only hits at the time of the Tower. This could be between fire signs and air signs without a doubt. But for me, when I look at this, I feel like the offer is coming from someone who quite possibly has this fiery nature. They're probably very attractive. You've probably felt strongly about them for a long time. But this Queen of Swords energy is what you're using to manage this situation. And I like that because you're standing there and going, I'm not tolerating this. This is what I see. The Ace of Wands to me and the Three of Wands says you're now waiting to see what the outcome is, but you're quite happy to move forward, you know, as this Queen of Wands, understanding that you've stood your ground, you've got the direction you want, and you can take that direction and be alone, and you bring in abundance. I do think you're waiting here to see what happens from this. I do. I do think there's more to come. It's almost like this card leaves it up in the air. But with this card here, I'm thinking you've brought in your own abundance by standing your ground and saying, I'm not going to tolerate that. This is what I want. And I like that because we're taught that we don't tolerate things that do not serve our highest good. So we're not cruel to people, we're not mean to people, but we expect that in return. And the Karma card is saying here, you know, what you're expecting comes back to you, maybe not in the same shape, but it will come back. And I feel like this situation is saying to me, no matter what you've been through here, things will be resolved in the end, regardless of which way they go. Fantastic reading, people. I should really pull you out. I've got time to pull you out. I pulled all my cards out the other day, and I'm going to have a good look at some of the cards I haven't really used in a long time. This is the Tarot. It is the, oh golly, can't think of the name of it. Interesting. So I've pulled out the Be Open to Success here, and it says, look at the wonderful things you can do when you listen to your divine guidance. You've balanced so many different priorities and have come out a winner. There will be a lot of recognition and praise headed your way, but don't be shy. Allow others to shower you with the gratitude you deserve. So very nice little topper for that. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.